I ain't seen it yet.
Thank you.
From the government on down. I ain't seen it.
Okay, the last thing, before we close, I'm asking the mayor to respond because I asked him to have the service director to come, and he said he could fulfill that. What is the plan for fixing these streets?
So
you're done with me?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank
Okay,
you.
I wanted to add on one more piece.
Oh,
where
and
you guys can
before you
find
go,
out.
I'm reaching out to Barbara Zaki about this letter supporting our kids at Shaw, doing video and programming on Channel 9.
It's not just Shaw, it's the district.
The district. And we've been back and forth with this over a year now, so I'm asking that, I'm gonna bring it up tomorrow. I don't know if you remember the letter that we signed, you and I
Yes.
signed, Barbara.
As a matter of
But
fact, I got a
now is the
copy.
time to put the rubber to the road, since the cable station is up and going every now and then. But I need to know from the mayor, before we close this meeting, what is the plan to fix these holes? Because you did, in fairness, we did get a list of a number of streets, a whole bunch of streets, and getting this machine up and going, so not just cold patch, but to really fix them, so we don't have to keep going back to them. Go ahead, Mayor.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Tiff. I hope you could understand what I was saying about that.
Yeah, about that part right there,
Yeah.
which we'll talk, I would
Yeah.
like to know, but in addition, wherever the places are that the cars are being held at, are we paying rent to those people? Because that money can go towards the purchase of these cars.
Tiff, in court cases, right, we've got to hold on to the evidence. It's got to be put somewhere. So it's like one of those expenses that you have just as the nature of things.
Okay.
Right, so, thanks, and I hope you understand what I was saying.
I
So,
understand how to, thank you.
I'd like to thank,
Thank you, Bailey. You oh, wait a minute, Twine, you got?
you
okay.
said she was last.
Yeah,
So-
well, come on.
I mean,
Mine is quick.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Okay,
Pearl Womack,
Pearl Woman, okay.
1760 Allendale. Do we have a planning committee in East Cleveland?
The man have to answer that, do we? Brandon?
So
What type of
everybody
planning
will know
committee?
what's supposed to be happening here and these know. Do we have a planning committee?
Yes, we do.
We do?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
When does it meet?
Yeah, when does it meet?
So we can see some of the plans that's going on out here.
Yes, we will. We will. If you want to either leave me your contact information or call and give it to Belinda in the morning.
Okay, I'll
And Pearl,
Thank you.
let me know, because if
You don't know
if it's
either.
a time that I can be, I like to attend it too. All right,
Okay.
thank you. Thanks for asking. Twine, real quick.
I just wanted to ask, like, for the garbage, for Rumpke, when houses is being rehabbed and people got garbage and they neatly stack it up in front of the houses, I was told by the company that nobody pick up the garbage unless the house is occupied. And I kind of wondered about that because if they don't pick up that garbage, you know, what can possibly happen is that you know how people is and they saying, well, buy a dumpster. Nobody ain't gonna buy a dumpster for a few bags, especially if it's neatly stacked out there. You know what's gonna happen. They're gonna put it in their vehicle, they're gonna go drop it in the street somewhere. Mattresses and all that other thing. So I just wanted to ask about that. Is that the way that that's supposed to be or no?
No.
How's that, Mayor? You can respond to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Beautiful question. Thank you for asking that question. Last night at the General Services Committee, we introduced legislation to try and help address that very issue, right?
Right, I was there.
Because
Yeah.
Rumpke kind of sort of midstream changed a number of their rules on us. So they're not picking up like they used to pick up.
Okay.
Right? So when you have a vacant house and it looks like there was an eviction that happened and everything's now on the lawn,
Yeah.
they're not picking it up. So we introduced legislation that would make that an offense that we can then issue a warrant for the landlords to kind of help us curb the expense of then having to go clean that up, right? So
What
we
about
are-
the neat bag?
So what's happening if it's garbage right, that's coming out of a residential facility, that someone lives there, that's garbage. If
Right.
it's rehab, then that's not necessarily garbage. And this is what Rumpke did, right? So we have Rumpke in the office 3 times now to complain about that because they have drivers arbitrarily deciding what is rehab and what is garbage.
Right.
So I'm working on that, right? And this legislation will help address it because we've had a number of calls from residents who live next to someone who owns a property and wind up just throwing it out, then a couple days later it just moves a couple doors down.
Right.
So we're trying to address that.
Yeah, because I would think that the garbage bags, as long as if the garbage is in a bag and it's neatly stacked up, if long as it fits in the bag, no matter if it's debris or whatever, garbage is garbage. If it's in the bag,
So what's happening in their mind, if they see a house, say a 2-family house,
right,
or a single-family house,
right,
you get what, 4 bags a week? You got 10 bags, that's not household garbage, that's rehab. That's what I'm guessing that the drivers are thinking, which is why they wind up leaving it.
So they would have an issue with what you're saying with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Barbara.
I'm sorry.
We'll wrap this up.
I'm not
You
going
got one
to.
comment before you close.
So I wanted to excuse him, but I wanted to
When
thank
you-
him. Are we finished with this piece and then?
Yeah, you want to go about the streets, the pavement?
I
No,
guess
I'm going to answer this.
Okay, hold it. Twan, are you through?
that's one last question.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, Barbara, can I say that and then so you
Well,
can
the reason
answer
I wanted to say that because that's incorrect. You call Rumpke, you tell him that this individual has moved out of the house, and at 11:70 something, there is stuff sitting on the tree line. That is the rule. I have done it all over my place. Right, matter of fact, on Emily. I told the lady she moved the stuff out. Her tenant, she evicted the person. They've had all kind of furniture and stuff out there. I said, now you got to do this. And she said, well, I didn't know, didn't nobody tell me. She called them, and about 4 days later, Rumpke came by and picked them up. There's a lot of people that are putting mattresses out on the tree line. And you know how you're supposed to take care of that? You're supposed to put it in plastic bag and set it out there and call Rumpke and say, I live in such and such a place, and this is how it's going to go down.
When did you negotiate something past
On the other, it's in the rules. And on the other issue about stuff being put out there, we got a lot of ordinances on the books that nobody is going to research and find out what is going on. Nobody. Because if you research what you got already on the books, then maybe you can deal with some of this stuff. And I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. And if you don't believe me, you put something out on your tree line and call Rumpke and say, well, I got X amount of stuff sitting out there. Can you have someone to pick it up? And if they don't do it, call me.
Okay,
last thing, but the roads around Terrence too, I just wanted to say, when you coming around Terrence right behind Shaw,
Yes, sir.
those cars, I mean, that's going to be a disaster sooner or later.
Yeah.
Somebody going to smash into each other because, you know, the way that they got the cones, like when you drive over there today,